This tutorial, I'm going to run through how you can use the color array and apply a few other behaviors with it to create some cool effects. So there's animations that I'm going through now. The only thing that's moving is color offsets. I thought it could be quite a cool little concept just to have motion design without the motion. I've also created a little tool as well called kalaKo, which is just going to help explain how some of these work. So if you don't have a pro license, you can just follow along and just see how these are set up. So let's get started. So Coolers is a site where you can just sign up and just check out a whole lot of different color palettes. You can create your own and kind of do what you want. So what you do is essentially just find a color palette, hit copy, come into Cavalry, paste it, and then just hit one of these buttons. And then you've got some animated color. But yeah, like I said, I'm not sure how, this isn't really overly practical at the moment, but it's just kind of give you a bit of a run through on how this works. So once it's in here, you can then change the offset if you wanted to as well. You can also add another behavior to the offset, which is just kind of cool. You can just kind of build up your own effects and do your own thing. And once you have this color array in here as well, let's just create a new one. So what we could do is just pop another color in here. And then it's just kind of going to filter through those colors as well. And it just creates a bit more of a complex animation. So yeah, you can link a color array inside a color on a color array. Kind of cool. We've also got, so the array is just your standard array. So when you click the mod button, it creates your color array, and then it creates a modulate behavior. And then it also creates a frame node which feeds into the modulate. So with this here, if we wanted to, you can play with the offset here as well. It's another way of creating your own little creating your motion, which is kind of cool. And another thing you can do is just come up to custom pattern. And you can just type in what you want and just kind of again just create some really kind of interesting effects. This is super basic, might not be that exciting, but you kind of get the general idea of how this can be wrangled. I also have sequence set up. And what this does is just create a sequence. If you wanted to have the colors loop through in an array, you'd have to use the color sequence or a modulator. If you just put a frame node into your array, everything is going to end up the same color. To do the text as well, what we can do is just create a submesh, click on that, and then you just hit play, and it will play that through for you quite nicely. I think the only thing here is just make sure that the level mode is on characters, and make sure you've got your fill turned on. And it should pretty much do that straight away for you. So I'll just, again, just put a oscillator in here. Let's put that into -5, I think that should do it, just to see how this effect kind of plays out. Yeah, so it's just kind of like a cool little transition between colors. So I think one of the main things is just to play with that offset and play with the frequencies and a few other things. I have just my simple array, and I'm just going to feed that into my submesh. And then in my color array, I'm just going to untick auto index, and I'm just going to right click on that index, come down to utility and click on sequence. And that sequence is 0 to 4, which is what our array is, 0 to 4. So this, if you did click on this one over here, it kind of sets it up for you. So if you have, some of these palettes have, a lot more colors, and it just automatically gets that for you. So it just saves you a little step. And then I believe it's just the travel. So if you just right click on this, put a frame node in here, and bring that frame down to something a little easier in the eye, and it just runs through it like that for you. Again, pretty simple. But yeah, it's just a bit of fun to play with and handy to know. I'd spotted a few people on Discord curious as to how to wrangle it, and voila. Cool. Thanks for watching.